Metallica has been making the rounds with 72 seasons. They were on Jimmy Kimmel all week long. You probably saw the videos uh, circulating, and they did an appearance on Howard Stern and did a few things. They're talking to Howard. And this is good evidence that they haven't packed it in yet. They're still trying, and they got a lot of energy and vigor, and they've come out with the new record, 72 Seasons. And so they're promoting that record, and they're going to go on tour. 72 Seasons has 12 new songs. Oh, by the way, this is the front cover. That's the 12 new songs produced by Greg Fiddleman with Hetfield and Ulrich, mixed by Fiddleman. So that's the same as Hardwired. But also Fiddleman was with them, recorded and mixed Death Magnetic for Rick Rubin. And it's the same as Lulu, which was Metallica with Lou Reed. That was sometime after Death Magnetic. I'm not quite sure what year that was. All right, the good. There's no production issues on 72 Seasons. Sounds crisp and clear and really focused. Every song has, not every song, but most of the songs have really long intros. And the intros are generally better than the verses and the choruses. And that's going back to classic Metallica, so I appreciate that, the throwback. Definitely, Metallica hasn't mailed it in, and you can hear that in the songs. They're still trying to make a good album. There's high effort. You can see the effort just with the promotion, going around, doing Jimmy Kimmel and doing the Howard Stern show. So it's a good effort, and they're trying, okay? James's vocals, he's gone back to a lot of the songs. He's got the growl going, and that's better. That's better than just when he's singing. Just about every song has an extended jam session, and sometimes it's disguised as a Kirk Hammett solo or something like that. But there's like a good jammy part, and I don't just mean the introduction. I mean like somewhere in the middle of the song. I'll say this one's better than Hardwired. It's a better effort. And I'll get into the comparisons at the end. But I think it's a better effort. The changing time signature thing is back. It was prominent on Hardwire, and it goes back to the old classic Metallica feel. And that's pretty much in every song and every intro and everything they're doing on this album. The consistency of the lineup is good. You got Hetfield, Ulrich is on drums, Hammett's back, of course, and Robert Trujillo is the bass player. Of course, I know him from Jerry Cantrell's second record. You might know him from Black Sabbath, or he's been on a few Metallica records now. But he's back, and he's doing his thing, and he kind of reminds me of Fieldy from Korn. Although he's not doing the slap bass thing, that's just kind of the feel I get from him. There's three good songs on here. They're going to get the check. You Must Burn, Chasing Light, and If Darkness Had No Name. Sorry, If Darkness Had a Sun. It reminds me of Danzig's song. I'll get there in a second. Okay, let's, what's not so good? The fact that there's only like 3.5 good songs on here that get the check mark. Okay, so that's not great. There's only 2 skips, Screaming Suicide and Sleepwalk My Life Away. Those aren't doing a lot for me. All the other songs are okay. The good songs are You Must Burn, Chasing Light, and If Darkness Had a Sun. So the rest of it, it's all right. There's nothing too innovative. It's just more of the same. It's more of what you heard on Death Magnetic and Hardwired. Death Magnetic's pretty good, but since then the material isn't as strong. Themes aren't as good, and it's just a little weaker, okay? James's vocals. So it's good and it's bad, right? The bad part is when James is singing, and there's some tracks that he's singing on, he's not a great singer. All right. What else is not good? It's too long at 77 minutes. So that's a different kind of criticism, but what I wish they would do is make more records more frequently. So like Hardwired was in 2015 or 2016. I mean, that's 7 years ago. I mean, let's crank it up a little bit. Strengthen the material, produce something more frequently. I mean, they're kind of doing the Pink Floyd thing of every 7 or 10 years. You know, I think you'd make stronger, better records if you did it more frequently. And then the Digipack, so it's not good. So let's talk about it. It's got the Killer Bees thing. It's black and yellow, like remember the tag team Killer Bees? That's kind of cool. The packaging is all right. It came with this little sleeve, which I think this is recognized as the album cover. But when you actually get into the Digipack, it's a crib, by the way, with a bunch of smash guitars and chairs and stuff. The Digipack, I don't like. Okay, the Digipack. The first thing you see is James. He's looking kind of sullen. Kirk, Lars, and then Robert. And then it folds out in this fourth thing. Look at the this thing's got like a chewed up teddy bear on it. This is the album liner notes with all the lyrics. They did a good job on this, and everything's got the black and yellow theme going on. And the disc itself is kind of cool. It's got it's yellow. This is the yellow album. Okay. The Killer Bees. It's got the M on it. So I don't like the way this thing clumsily folds out. That's okay. I mean, most of you aren't buying CDs anymore. You're just streaming this stuff. And I guess that's fine. The liner notes. There's a thing in here about 72 seasons. And what it says is the first 18 years of our lives that form our true or false selves. The concept that we were told who we are by our parents. Okay, so 72 seasons. Math, the math is 18 times 4 equals 72. Or 6,576 days if you're counting the days, including the leap years. But okay, 72 seasons. I guess I have a problem with this, so I'm sure many of you know, according to psychologists, the brain and personality isn't fully developed until you're about age 25, or in some cases later than that. The shackles of control really start to come off when a person's about 16. Now, I don't mean control. We're not like parent robots controlling you. When you're 16, you can get your driver's license and drive. You're even driving when you're 15 if you got your temps. And 18 you can vote, you can join the service, but you're not really getting any additional freedoms. So I kind of feel like 72 seasons is kind of arbitrary there. It's not really a true story, not the truth. It's a good try though. I mean, I don't yeah, the concept that we were told who we are by our parents. That's what it says in the liner notes. I mean, I don't tell my kids who they are. I let them, they're going to figure that out on their own, okay? Everyone's their own person. Most of these songs have a pre-chorus before the chorus. And so when I'm talking about the songs, just figure in that there's a pre-chorus before the chorus, okay? And I also noticed that like Metallica likes 12 bars at a time for verse or chorus. Now, it's hard for me to count considering how often they switch the time signatures in a song, but they like the 12-bar, 4-bar phrase and 12 bars before they repeat themselves. All right, let's get into it. The first song is 20, sorry, it's 72 seasons, okay? Here, I'm going to go off. The song list is right here. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to look at the discs. That's what 72 seasons. Starts out, it sounds a lot like the song Frantic on Saint Anger. So I like that right away. It's got a good, strong start. And right around the 4-minute, 30-second mark, and again at the 5-minute mark, there's it's like a lead guitar solo. And the second time, so there's like a jam and then a lead guitar solo by Kirk, and they go into it like a 12 bars of cool Metallica. This song is verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, out. and they sort of do that a lot. There's either two verses and chorus before a bridge, or there's three, and then they go into a bridge and a solo. And so that's sort of how this whole album. It's not too formulaic, but it's on that path. Okay. The second song is "Shallows Follow." 6 minutes 12 seconds. Okay, 72 seasons. By the way, the first track, the title track, 7 minutes 39 seconds. These are all longer songs. "Shadows Follow" is 6:12. It's got a really long introduction, about a minute long, and that's cool. Um, this song's, other than the introduction, it's, you can skip it. It's not really doing a lot. I appreciate the long intro, the solo, and the long intro on the way out, the long outro, or whatever you want to call it. But other than that, there's not a lot going on. It's a verse, chorus, verse, bridge, solo, chorus. Okay, so a little bit of a change up, but it's not. I guess I missed a skip there. So there's one more skip than I counted. So there's three skips. Okay, whatever. Suicide Screaming is the third track. This is 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is one of the shorter ones, actually. There's a long intro, about a minute. Once again, I guess my problem with the song, how many songs is James going to write about suicide? This is another one. The guitar solos aren't doing a lot for me here. He's singing about cyanide again. I think cyanide goes back to Death Magnetic. This is a skip. Verse, chorus, solo, refrain, solo, bridge, refrain, chorus, out. That's the whole song. It's a long song and it's a skip. Well, it's one of the shorter ones, actually, but for anyone else, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. That's pretty good. The fourth track is "Sleepwalk My Life Away." That one is 6 minutes 56 seconds. A really long intro at 1:15. It's a good intro. I guess the main riff in the verse is just okay. James is singing "Wake Me." Yeah, I guess "Wake Me Up." You could skip this song. Verse, chorus, solo, chorus, outro. And then at the end, James says, "That was good, right?" I mean, I guess the answer is no. However, I liked the outro, but this isn't one of the keepers. "You Must Burn" is track 5. This one is 7:03. Okay, this is one I mentioned at the beginning. There's a nice big intro. It's 50 seconds, and it's a solid riff. And this is the first time where they've slowed the tempo down. The first 4 tracks are pretty fast. This is a slower one. So this is a change up to the album. James, he's got the Cookie Monster growl going. He doesn't, when he does the growl, or when he does his Cookie Monster, it's not like Gene Simmons or Danzig, but it works. James has got a good one. There's a long jam before the bridge that I quite dig. And it's a good guitar solo after the short bridge. And the solo and the jam make this song, okay? This song gets a check. It's a verse, chorus, bridge, solo, chorus, outro. And in the bridge, the vocals are James and Robert both singing, okay? We'll keep that one. Track 6 is Lux Eterna, 3:22. I think this is the shortest. Yeah, this is the shortest track on the album. This song's been out for a few months, so I listened to it a while back when it came out. We're back to the fast tempo here. It's got one of the shorter intros on the album. It's a 30-second intro. I heard when it came out, I heard Luke Thomas. You guys ever listen to Luke Thomas? He's an MMA analyst. I like him. I heard him say on his podcast that this is dad rock. I don't agree with that. It's not dad rock. I don't hate it, but it doesn't get the check mark either. It's just okay. It's a verse, chorus, bridge. Then their bridges tend to be 8 bars, and then solo, verse, chorus, outro. Okay, so that's Lux Eterna. It's been out. You've heard it. If you've been waiting, I don't know why you're waiting, but maybe you're waiting for the album to hear it. Track 7 is Crown of Barbed Wire, 5 minutes 49 seconds. This has got another good long intro at 106. It's one of the better ones. This song's okay. There's a 30-second jam before the lead guitar solo. It's nothing too spectacular, but it's good. It gets you in the mood, you know. Does it get a check? It gets a half a check. It doesn't get the big green check mark. Maybe like a smaller check. Verse, chorus, solo, and then the chorus. Yeah, so that to shorten the song, that's what they did. They just made it. They didn't do a lot of repeating here. I like Crown of Barbed Wire. You know, what's he singing about? Is he singing about, you know, Jesus wears the crown, and you know James is singing about a crown of barbed wire. I mean, it's a little bit. It's not cliche, but is it? It seems a little heavy-handed. Okay. Chasing Light 6:45. This is the 8th track. Finally, something good that you can really hang your hat on. Okay, well, it's good. Let's just call it good. Long intro, 1 minute 17 seconds. It gets the big check. And James is just screaming, without darkness, there's no light. Okay. It's, I like it. It's good. Chase that light, lean on me, he's screaming in the chorus. That's awesome. All right, James, let's go, baby. Dial it up. Let's fucking go, you know. Yeah, now you're on to something here. Verse, chorus, and then a bridge, and then the solo, and then the chorus, and then an outro. There's a really long jam after that bridge, before the solo. I don't know. Is it really a solo? It seems like they're just having a lot of fun. I kind of like it. That's a keeper. Track 9, If Darkness Had a Sun. 6:36. 6 minutes 36 seconds. If darkness had a song, here I am. I bathe in holy water. Temptation, leave me be. Okay? That's what he's singing. He's like he's dialing up the biblical references. I don't know. That seems new for James Hetfield, but I mean, I think he's the lyricist. There's also 3 Danzig songs that popped in my head when I saw the title and listened. Until You Call in the Dark from Danzig 4, and then My Darkness from Circle of Snakes, and When Death Had No Name from Lost Tracks of Danzig. I mean, the intro in this song, it feels like a death march. I mean, actually, this one might be the best intro. It's like you're getting shot up. It's doing the da 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 da. It's doing that 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and it's a 1 minute and 23 second intro. The refrain is just James chanting "Temptation" over and over. I'll give this song the check mark. It opens with the intro, you know, the long intro, then the refrain, then a verse, chorus, then the refrain again. The refrain is him saying temptation. And then verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus. So this one's got different song structure from all the other ones. And I quite enjoy it. Track 10 is Too Far Gone. It is 4:34. It's got a 50-second intro. It's a good intro. There's not too much going on in this track. No check mark. It's not a skip, but it's just listen to it and see what you think for yourself. There's two solos. So there's a verse chorus, and then there's the first solo, and then there's another verse chorus bridge, and then after that bridge, there's a solo. And then they repeat the chorus and it goes out. Okay. Uh, 11 is Room of Mirrors. 5 minutes, 34 seconds. There's a 40-second intro at the beginning. You can skip this track. There's a nice long jammy type guitar solo in this song. That part's okay. The rest of it, I mean, it's not really doing a lot. I mean, James is singing. Would you criticize, scrutinize, analyze my pain? Would you summarize, patronize, classify, insane? So I stand here before you. You might judge, you might just bury me. Or you might set me free. Or you might set me free. I mean, is he psychoanalyzing himself, or does he think everyone's judging him? I don't know. Who's he singing about? Verse, chorus, solo, chorus. You can skip it. Maybe check out the guitar solo. It's a good long one, but okay. Finally, we get to track 12. It's called Inamorata. I think I'm saying that right. He doesn't say that word in the song. 11 minutes 10 seconds. It's the longest track by far. You could even say it's an epic. How is it an epic? The verse chorus, and then there's three solos. So after verse chorus is the first solo. Then there's a bridge. Then there's a second solo. Then there's a chorus. Then there's a refrain. Then there's a third solo and the outro. Okay. James is back to singing here. It's another long intro over a minute long. You know, I have written down skip actually. So did I miss the skip? Maybe there's 5 skips here or 4 skips. He's singing about misery again. Okay, so are we just rewriting our old songs? I was reading some of the analysis of this song and album on Genius, which I'm quite fond of. I didn't even know there was Genius until recently. In Genius, the people are saying that some of these songs are referring back to older Metallica songs. So in one example, they said Harvester of Sorrow. And then for this song, they mentioned Misery from the Black Album. They mentioned another song, I don't remember, but is James just rewriting old Metallica songs? I mean, Misery itself is an okay. It's okay. You know, I'm quite fond of the Black Album. I know people are mad at me. I had it ranked low, but I like it. I like it so much. I have 2 versions of it. Right? I've got it on DVD audio too. But Misery is just one. It's one of the better songs on there. Why would he want to rewrite it? I don't know. It sounds like he's rewriting it. The first and the last solo sound like regular Kirk Hammett solos. Nothing too spectacular. They're good. You know, Kirk doesn't have like a powerful solo style. He's got it's more like a precise, and he's using the wah-wah pedal a lot, and I don't think he's doing a lot of bends. I think he's doing he's doing some taps, and then he's using the wah-wah. The second solo in this song is different, the one in the middle. It sounded more like a long jam, and he was playing this extended, double track guitar lick. I gotta go. Honestly, I want to go back and listen to it again, even though it's a skip, because I want to make sure I heard what I actually heard on that song. Is it a skip? So I wrote down it's a skip at the beginning, and then at the end of the song, it's not a skip, but it doesn't get the check. Let's not call it a skip. So if you stayed with the review this long, it's not a skip. Write that down. Okay, so that's the record. What do I like about it? I like the effort. I like the band. I like the long intros. I like the Killer Bee packaging. I like the teddy bear. Okay. You got 72 in this. I don't know what these sleeves are called, but you got it in stencil here. You got the damaged crib. That part of the packaging's okay. I don't like the jewel case. It's just what I don't like. It's just all kind of vanilla. I want Metallica to try something different. They're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but what I would like to see them do is carry on, but not become more mainstream. Maybe they need to. I don't know. They got to go back into the lab and into the innovation tank. This album's better than Hardwired. Is it better than Load and Reload and Saint Anger? I'm not sure. I'll give it a few more listens and I'll decide. But 72 Seasons, you should check it out. You know, if you're not gonna buy the disc, you should at least check it out on Spotify or YouTube. And I kind of liked listening, you know, just spending time listening to Metallica these last few weeks. So thanks for the listen. You can leave comments. I know Metallica fans always do. Like and subscribe. And Coach Plow Guy out.